Now, whether you're here because you're looking for an alternative to Adobe's monthly subscription plan, or you just simply want to see how ON1 stacks up with Lightroom and Photoshop, you're in the right place. I'm professional photographer Austin James Jackson. In this video, I'm going to be talking about ON1 Photo RAW 2024 and how it compares to Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop. There's no way to know the exact numbers, but according to numerous estimations that I've seen, it's believed that Lightroom and Photoshop are the go-to program for over 85% of photographers. Adobe certainly has a good thing going with their Creative Cloud subscription, which offers all sorts of different apps for different kinds of creators, which no other brand at this point in time can offer. Now, whether your thing is music, design, advertising, video, photography, or many other creative disciplines I'm sure that I have missed, Adobe can offer you all the products you need under one roof, which is very, very convenient. Combine this with the fact that Lightroom and Photoshop seem to be the industry standard, and you can definitely see why the Adobe Creative Cloud software is so popular. Before we jump in, I do want to mention that this video is not sponsored by either Adobe or ON1, and neither company even knows that I'm creating this video. I'm simply creating it since it's something that I've had a few people ask me recently, and I hope that this is going to help you as well. Also, I know there's a lot of people that would love to get out of Adobe's monthly subscription model, so this may be an opportunity to do that. If you choose to purchase anything that I do mention in this video, I really appreciate you using the links down below and a discount code for you, which does earn me a really small kicker, but ultimately it helps me to fund me to make more of these videos in the future. Now, that being said, there's two major pain points when it comes to Lightroom and Photoshop. The first one is that you never truly own the software. Consider your Adobe subscription like a lease. You never actually own the software, and you just have to continually pay a monthly or yearly fee to own the software. No matter how many times you pay, you'll never own it. Adobe is a smart business, and they know that because of the fact their programs are the industry standard, that they can force you into paying a monthly or yearly, essentially forcing you to be a returning customer for life as long as you want the software. And if you stop your hobby, a lot of people just won't cancel their subscription, so it's basically free money for them. Now, you used to be able to purchase Lightroom once and own it forever, but you can no longer do that with the new Creative Cloud versions. And if you're going to get Lightroom, trust me, you definitely want the Creative Cloud editions. Now, also, if you do want Photoshop with Lightroom, that's going to double your cost, which is going to run you $19.99 a month. And if you do want all of the apps, you're going to be looking at a whole whopping $59.99 a month. Many photographers out there would love to pay for software and own it rather than have to worry about a continuous payment every month or year. The second pain point of the software is the difficulty of learning Photoshop. Since Photoshop is not only made for photographers, but it's also made for graphic designers, illustrators, and more, has a ton of features. While Lightroom is relatively easy for a beginner to learn, Photoshop is not quite as beginner friendly. At this point in time, Lightroom is a very, very strong application. There's a lot of things you can achieve with it, but there's still reasons why one would need to enter Photoshop to enhance their photography, especially for landscape photographers like myself. Lightroom still doesn't offer layer functionality, meaning any photo blend or combination of photos is going to require Photoshop. There's various other reasons why you may still need Photoshop, but we're going to leave it at that now just for the sake of time. There are quite a few Photoshop and Lightroom alternatives on the market today that aim to fill the void that Adobe is not willing to compromise on, which is that monthly subscription. While I could talk about any of the alternatives such as DxO Photolab, Luminar, or Capture One, just to name a few that are the most popular, this video is going to focus on ON1. Of all the alternative softwares that I've spent time in, I've spent the most time in ON1, and I have a good grasp on how it stacks up with Adobe's programs. We're going to look at a few key metrics in this video that I think will help to distinguish these softwares apart, including the price, easy use, features, and more. First, let's go ahead and talk about the price. ON1 does have the option to pay monthly, but let's assume that you're here because you want to get away from the monthly payment. There are currently two options to own ON1 Photo RAW outright, with sales being quite frequent to pick up these softwares at a discounted price. If you do plan on using the ON1 features as a plugin with other softwares such as Lightroom or Photoshop, like to add it to an existing workflow, you'll need to get the ON1 Photo RAW Max, which is $199.99 in the United States for new customers. If you only wish to use ON1 as a standalone app, the cost is just $99.99. In my opinion, doubling the price is a lot to ask simply just to add the capability to use the features as plugins, but you have no choice if that is your plan. And again, that $200 a month subscription doesn't get you anything other than allowing you to use the software that you would already have with the $99.99 as a plugin. So for users that are looking to completely reinvent their workflow in a new app, the regular $99.99 version will be just fine. Compared to Lightroom and Photoshop, you can own ON1 outright for the price of just 5 months of the 2 Adobe photography apps. When you buy ON1, it includes just the version you've paid for and its updates that usually include a few features, but it's mostly just bug fixes. ON1 is going to do their best to try and turn you into a regular customer by releasing a new version every single year, which you would then have to pay for to own the newest version. As a returning customer, you do get a 20% discount on the new app, but that being said, I really don't think you need to upgrade every single year. The major upgrades every year usually have a few nice features, but I don't find them to be essential to my workflow, so I don't think you have to spend the money to upgrade each year. Instead, just look at what the upgrades are and see if it's worth it for you, and upgrade every few years more likely. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the capabilities of the softwares, which is obviously really important. I consider ON1 to be like a blend of Lightroom and Photoshop combined, with a few extra added features and a few features that it unfortunately seems to be missing. Lightroom functions like a photo catalog with multiple modules allowing you to switch between browsing through your images and editing them. There's a ton of great features allowing easy editing of your images via Lightroom, but a few advanced photo editing features lie within Photoshop, which does not have cataloging capabilities. The workflow that most photographers use would be to sort and store their images in Lightroom, do your light editing here, and then do the heavy editing and advanced editing in Photoshop. Then you can save the image back to Lightroom for storage. ON1 excels in this category because not only does it offer really similar cataloging capabilities as Lightroom, but it also has many of the advanced editing features seen in Photoshop, and it's obviously all under one roof in ON1. No need to have multiple softwares to go back and forth between them. For most photographers, the biggest feature missing in Lightroom that you have to use Photoshop for, like I mentioned earlier, is the ability to use layers, which would be required to complete multiple images or create any kind of collage. ON1 has the ability to do all of this without needing any other app. Additionally, one of my favorite things about ON1 is their effects panel, which gives you access to 31, I believe, different effects, which range from things like photo filters all the way to effects that can add a vintage look to your photo. I really only use about 6 or 7 of the different effects, but they are very easy to use and they do produce great results. While these effects don't offer anything that you couldn't already do in Photoshop, they are much easier to use than knowing how to do the process in Photoshop, which doesn't offer a one-click solution like these effects that you can create in ON1. If you're new to photography, I think you're going to get to a much more advanced level quicker in ON1 than you'd be able to do using Photoshop. Now, the biggest feature that is missing in ON1 for me personally is the ability to warp. I understand that's probably not a huge deal to most photographers. In fact, it's probably only matters really to landscape photographers. But I do find that I would like the ability to do a little bit better warping like you can in Photoshop. Recently, ON1 did add the liquify tool, which is the same as the liquify tool in Photoshop. This allows you to push and pull pixels around in the image, but you still can't get quite the same results you can from a true warping tool. Again, probably not a huge deal to you, but I did want to mention it for any of you landscape photographers out there that do like to use the warp tool. Regarding masking tools for local adjustments, all 3 softwares have really adequate way to create masks, including a few newer AI masking tools. Lightroom did a pretty big revamp in last year's update to their masking tools, which are fantastic if you haven't checked them out yet. ON1 also has a few different brushes, selection tools, and both luminosity and color range masking, so I really don't see either software having the advantage over the other at this point in time when it comes to the masking tools. Now, I think that ON1 does have the upper hand when it comes to editing portraits. As a landscape photographer, my experience is limited, so let me know down in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but the few portraits that I have ran through, ON1's portrait module has performed very well, allowing me to make quick adjustments to the skin and features of my model. You can do a lot of this in Lightroom and Photoshop, but it does become a bit more complex since you have to create local masks and then adjust the sliders to create your desired look. Certainly, it's a great feature to have for anybody that edits a lot of portraits. When it comes to the internal interface of ON1 versus Lightroom, both are really similar. You have standard sliders and different modules that give you access to the other editing tools. Many of the hotkeys are the same across the program, so if you already know how to use Lightroom and the many shortcuts, ON1 it should come pretty quick to you. ON1 is substantially easier to use than Photoshop, in my opinion, for someone who has not yet mastered Photoshop. I constantly see photographers struggling to understand the complexities of Photoshop that can learn ON1 in far less time. The advanced techniques still take a little finesse to use, but it is far more intuitive in Photoshop, in my opinion. Compared to the other Photoshop alternatives, I think ON1 has the cleanest internal layout that I personally think is the easiest to use. When it all comes down to it, both softwares are capable of aiding incredibly powerful photo edits. Picking the software that works for you just comes down to personal preference, but I'll give you my 2 cents since you're here. For me personally, I'm going to stay using Lightroom and Photoshop. Since I'm a designer as well, and this is my small business that I create video content as well as podcasts, I need a lot of the Adobe softwares that I already am going to have a subscription for. Additionally, since I lead workshops, I teach the industry standard, and since that's what most of my clients are using. If ON1 ever shifts its way to becoming more popular than Lightroom or Photoshop, I would switch to ON1 in an instant. If it was just doing photography as a hobby and not running any of the back-end business stuff, I'd probably also switch to ON1 since it is a cheaper cost. If you're a photographer that only needs the photo editing apps, I think ON1 is an excellent choice for you. While there's certainly more educational content surrounding Adobe's apps on platforms like YouTube, ON1 has been around now long enough that there is becoming plenty of educational content covering ON1 as well, and ON1 even offers a Plus membership that gives you access to premium tutorials from professional photographers. So don't let that hold you back from making the switch. Hopefully this video was helpful to help you guys inform your purchase decision. Truly think you can create some amazing images in either software, and you just need to decide which one is right for you. Additionally, if you're going to pick up ON1, you can use the link down below. I would really appreciate it. And you can use my code AustinJackson20 to get 20% off. Now, and if you do pick up ON1 and you're a landscape photographer, I also recently released a video course with ON1 covering how to create compelling, realistic looking landscapes, which is just an excellent way to learn the new software, in my opinion. I cover everything you need to know to create some absolutely amazing landscape photographs. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Otherwise, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.